banjo-esque. Doink, 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 doink. Hi, everyone. Today, I am listening to another song by Sheryl Crow. I have listened to one of her pieces before. That was If It Makes You Happy, and had a bit of fun with that one. So today, I am listening to All I Want to Do, written by Crow, David Bearwald, Bill Bottrell, and Kevin Gilbert. Okay, a whole stack of contributors to this song, with lyrics adapted from Wynn Cooper's 1987 poem, Fun. All I Want to Do was released in July 1994, and it was Crow's breakthrough hit from her 1993 debut album, Tuesday Night Music Club. The song is Crow's biggest U.S. hit, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 consecutive weeks from October 8 to November 12, 1994. And it also topped the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. It was the winner of the 1995 Grammy for Record of the Year and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, and was nominated for Song of the Year. This could be interesting.
This ain't no disco. It ain't no country club either. This is LA. All I wanna do is have a little fun before I die. Sits a man next to me out of nowhere. It's apropos of nothing. He says his name is William. I'm sure he's Bill or Billy or Mac or Buddy. And he's plain ugly to me. And I wonder if he's ever had a day of fun in his whole life. And we are drinking beer at noon on Tuesday. The bar that faces a giant car wash. The good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch break, hosing and scrubbing as best they can in skirts and suits. They drive their shiny Datsuns and Buicks back to the phone company, the record store too. Well, they're nothing like Billy and me, 'cause all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is...
This is interesting, the way the guitar is kind of grumbling away down there. It's almost like there's an
Money, the record store too. Well, they're nothing like Billy and me, 'cause all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. Until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. I like a good beer buzz early in the morning, and Billy likes to peel the labels from his bottles of bud. He shreds them on the bar, then he lights every match in an oversized pack, letting each one burn down to his thick fingers before blowing and cushing them out. He's watching the bottles of bud as they spin on the floor, and a happy couple enters the bar, dangerously close to one another. The bartender looks up from his one ass, but all I wanna do is have some fun. I gotta...
So her method of delivery is actually, in the song, it's not unlike Bob Dylan in some ways, in the way that it's a sort of song speech. It's kind of a, you pick a pitch or two and you kind of call it out. Very much more weighted towards speech rather than singing for most of it. But then when she gets to the refrain, all I want to do is have some fun, that is suddenly where it becomes more sung than spoken, which really emphasizes that this is a narration of, okay, this is how things are going, this is where I am, I'm setting the context, I'm telling you this, the time, the place, the environment, everything, my observations. But when it comes to me, I start singing. All I want to do is have some fun. And of course, I have a feeling I'm not the only one. But that really tells us something about what this song is about. Because most of the song is observational. Most of the song is talking about what I see, something outside of me, and what's around me, all of that. But it's really about something I want. All I want to do is have some fun, and everything else is just setting me up to let you know that I have a feeling that I want some fun. That is the primary message of the song. However, all this other stuff that's being told, it's important because it's setting the stage. It's filling in the story for us, and we get to understand that how this person feels and views themselves, even though they don't really say much about that. But the way they talk about the world around them tells us how they understand and view their own self as well.
Up from his one ass, but all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard.
Interesting feel in the instrument. I still want to know what this croak thing is that I'm hearing. Greek. It's not quite a croak. It's more like a squeaky rocking chair or something like that. But the instrumentation is also kind of a little bit I'm gonna say it makes it feel retro. It's almost like I'm looking at a movie that is harking back to another time. It's this sort of retro feeling, and it has to do with the well, as we're listening here. I guess it has to do with the tone of the guitar. It reminds me of the same sort of guitar sound that I heard in maybe some of the early Beatles, and some of the other early era rock music. It's that sort of not highly resonant, not a long sustain, not very bright either, more banjo-esque. Doing, 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 doing. That to me, it just colors the whole thing. It tells me that this is supposed to be from a certain era, or it's supposed to reflect a certain time to me.
Otherwise, the bar is ours. The day and the night
Back
and
to
the car wash
speech
too.
calling.
The matches and the buds and the clean, dirty cars. The sun and the moon, but all I wanna do is have some
with a song like this that I know has so many contributors to the final product. It says it was written by Crow, Bearwald, Bottrill, and Gilbert. And then it says the lyrics were adapted from somebody else's poem Fun, Win Cooper's poem Fun. So then, okay, what did they all contribute? Because were they saying, okay, this instrument here, was it more instrumental, musical? Or was it more of how to adapt the poem? I am really curious because a song like this, to me, it feels like kind of a one-person job in a way. Meaning, okay, you've come up with your texture, your instruments, you come up with, but of course it can be multiple people contributing. It just feels like, how many people did it take to write this song? Of course, I know. There are all different ways that music comes into existence, and I'm not criticizing it. It's just a question that comes up with a song like this. So, having listened through the entire piece and kind of getting this perspective that it's all about what I want. All I want to do is have some fun. And we understand that, you know, it's kind of talking about this ugly fellow sitting next to me. We both want to have some fun. I feel like this is going to be a night together, even though I'm not particularly personally attracted to him. But, you know, we both want some fun, and it might actually happen that this is a night of fun. You know, that's implied, suggested. But even though it's mostly about what I want some fun. That's the primary message of the piece. The actual message is a bit more than that, isn't it? And the music helps us understand that, because even though the music is mostly only sung where it's about I want to have some fun, as I said earlier, this idea that everything else in the song that is being spoken is telling us so much about how this person views themselves. And it comes out in the lyrics as well. For example, this line: "We are drinking beer at noon on Tuesday." Okay. "In a bar that faces a giant car wash. The good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch break, hosing and scrubbing as best they can in skirts and suits. They drive their shiny Datsuns and Buicks back to the phone company, the record store. Well, they're nothing like Billy and me. Because all I want to do is have some fun." There is the punchline. In other words, somehow I'm irresponsible. I'm not a good person. I am not going to work. I'm not contributing to the functioning of society. Here I am at noon on Tuesday in a bar drinking a beer. And all I want to do is have some fun. And this ugly guy sitting next to me, he's ugly, and I wonder if he's ever had a day of fun in his whole life. But he says, all I want to do is have some fun. Actually, no, he says, all I want to do is have a little fun before I die. He's never had a day of fun in his life. At least that's what it seems. And boy, is he ugly. But, you know, we are both sitting here, and it's going to be a night of fun. And then further down, when it talks about all I want to do is have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. Otherwise, the bar is ours, the day and the night, and the car wash too, the matches and the buds and the clean and dirty cars, the sun. It's all ours. I mean, this is all ours, but somehow it's not enough. All I want to do is have some fun. I got a feeling the party has just begun. You know, so this perspective of I'm not really I'm not one of the backbones of society. I'm not one of the responsible people in the world. And comes out as being kind of a negative view of oneself. And that is why I end up sitting here at noon on Tuesday drinking a beer, because I don't have a positive view of myself. I don't understand myself as being valuable. I don't understand myself as having anything worthwhile to contribute. At the same time, I just can't see myself going to work at some boring job, washing my car on my lunch break like a good, responsible person. I mean, it's the struggle of how do the free spirits really fit into this world? How do they? Because we are not office people. We are not the ones who are going to be the secretaries and the bankers and the whomever, the record store keepers. Doesn't matter. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. There's this free spirit within us, and I just can't live like that. So then what do? Does that mean I am less than? Does it mean that I don't really fit into what this world needs? Does it mean I need to end up at this beer counter wishing for fun? It brings up all these different questions and ideas, and it's really something that can provoke thought about how do we relate to people who don't fit the standard mold that we come to expect on the main highway of society. And we should remember that the main highway is no good if there aren't any roads coming to it or going off of it. And so this all comes together, and it's important to remember that, at least, that when you meet somebody who doesn't fit your expectation of how people ought to be, how they should behave, what they should do, how they should dress, what they should think, how they reflect what you expect of, the standard person in this world, just remember there is no standard person in this world. Just remember that. There is no cookie cutter that answers everything. And actually, we really need these people who aren't working the 9 to 5, washing their cars. We need the people who do the night shifts. Maybe this person does a night shift. Maybe this person is, some really accomplished niche skill. So many things unknown. It just opens up this whole picture for us and reminds us that just because you don't fit the standard mold doesn't mean that you are less than. And if you still want to go have some fun, if you still want to go drink a beer, by all means, feel free to. But it doesn't mean you have to think less of yourselves for doing something that is non-standard. So, well, that was Sheryl Crow. I kind of dug deep into that one, went some interesting places, but it just invited me to go there, so I followed it. All I want to do, and my second time hearing her, she has some interesting pieces, and I guess I will probably explore more in the future. So I'll see you soon.